That's
like
true.
we're not like those outside podcast dudes who are just like, hey, we're doing a podcast outside.
Hey, what's going on?
And you could hear us talk about dumb shit. Now,
like the those people who made the Haktua girl famous. Are you on to this?
Of course I'm onto this.
Okay, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Asian Not Asian podcast, the podcast with all of your favorite Asian friends. It is a beautiful, hot, muggy as hell day in New York City. Jenny has been called away. She's got to do something in California, but she will be back, and she loves you, and she sends you her best. So, she'll be back. And holding down the fort then is... good friend of mine, funny dude, DJ, creator, all sorts of stuff. You'll love him. He's been on the pod a bunch of times, and now, you know what? I'm promoting him on the spot. I didn't even tell him. You're promoted.
Oh, yes.
To associate replacement host. Give it up right now for Ben X Kim, y'all.
What's going on? Associate host, co-host. I love it. This is what I've been working all my life for. Just kind of a very slow coup taking over Jenny's spot.
Well, you have to work your way up from assistant.
Absolutely.
Replacement host. Now you're associate.
I am associate. Yes, exactly.
You're on the partner track.
The ASST is still the same. The sign on my door doesn't change. But I'm very honored to be here, trying to fill the very cool shoes of Jenny. Yeah. Trying to be the counterpart. I don't know. She's always more into the modern pop culture.
Yes, she's very into that.
With a more feminine side, and also childless like me. So, I hope I can bring that same energy.
Me on the other hand, so many kids.
So childful. You've got one in the chamber, as I like to call it.
Yeah,
exactly.
One in the chamber,
as people on the streets would say. And you've got one locked and loaded, ready to pop off.
Yeah, I got the magazine and one in the chamber.
It's like
plus one.
It's like, what are you doing here? Just out here populating the Brooklyn with your spawn.
I'm replacing the population so that other people don't have to have kids. So you don't have to have kids. Jenny doesn't have to have kids.
Yes,
y'all can just do your own thing.
I appreciate that.
Keep making reels. Hold it down as far as the economy goes.
I love being an uncle to kids I am not related to.
Oh, but
that's the best.
That's great.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's the first time you ever come over, which is nice too. So real quick before we get started, Hack City, our comedy show, stand-up comedy show. It's a great time. It's always a great time. I'm there. Jenny's there. Mm-hmm. Ben's sometimes there now. He's there a lot.
I am there a lot. I live a few blocks away.
You live really close,
and I happen to like the show.
And you happen to like the show, and it's part of your duties now as an associate.
That's right.
So it's the next one is going to be August 9th. I think this will be out then, August 9th. It's at Union Hall in Brooklyn. Always check it out. By going to AsianNotAsianPod.com or just Google Hack City Comedy and we'll pop right up. Also, for Patreon, we still got our Patreon. We're still crushing it, sort of. Patreon is the best way to support the podcast. Just go to patreon.com/AsianNotAsianPod. Usually what we do is if you are a Patreon subscriber, we give you a little shout out. But here's the thing. So I don't know what happened, but sometime in December, there's a button on Patreon that used to be, I think it's like, I don't know, it used to be like a plus button or something.
Oh.
But now it's like join for free. It's a join for free button. So people will click on this, and
the UX changed.
Yeah, the UX changed, and functionally it's the same. It's not like if you're joined for free, you get any of the extra Patreon like extra doodads.
But instead of a symbol, it's text now? Is that the deal?
It says like join for free or something like that.
Yeah, I don't like that.
And here's the thing is that I think people will join for free and then they think they're going to get the free doodads. And the idea is that you're eventually you join, but now people are joining for free, but they're not actually joining. So
they're like, oh no, I got the free like first tier or something.
Yeah,
so
something
I don't
like
have
that.
to pay.
No.
Wow.
Listen, thank you for doing that, for joining for free, but please join for money. You know, I think the lowest tier I have is $2. $2.
$2 is nothing.
$2 is nothing, and it helps us out a lot. And I usually we do shout outs. I'm going to do call outs. I'm going to call out people who've joined for free.
Wow. So there is a kind of a cool little tier. Like you get something.
Good point.
Even if you're cheap.
Maybe what I'll do is I'll call them out, but then I'll have to bleep out their names. Patrick, my producer, you'll have to bleep out these names.
Well, I didn't think we were going to shame them. I thought we were doing something nice, but maybe we are shaming them into
I am going to shame them.
Okay.
But you know what? I'm not going to say your full name. I'm just going to say your initials. So it's almost like you almost don't exist.
And they will know when they hear it. Their ears will start burning. They're like, oh my gosh, I'm so ashamed.
Okay.
Okay. I like that.
JG. Don't be following me all free and stuff. JG.
Come on, JG.
CR. Come on. Classic CR maneuver.
Such a cheapskate.
As we all know, CR is always doing that.
Yeah. CR's always leaving before the bill comes.
Yeah. Oh, I'll Venmo you. No. CR. JS.
JS.
So disappointing. Of all people.
I didn't think JS would be the one to just try to skate by and,
of all the people,
listen to content without paying.
JS. Dude, we go way back, JS.
JS.
That's not cool.
Okay. I
Okay.
know times are tough, but come on.
Listen, if you don't want to be called out and you said want to be shouted out, go to patreon.com/AsianNotAsianPod and throw us like $2.
Rectify
Okay.
the situation.
You know, we use the money to support the podcast and
Mike's various children.
various children. My harem.
Yeah.
Wait, that's not the right
That's
word.
definitely not the right
That's
word.
not right the word.
Brood. Let's call it brood.
My brood of people.
Yeah.
So this is a special episode, partially because Ben is here, but
Thank you.
also this is the first Car Talk with Asians episode.
Yes. If you go to the YouTube and watch this pod, you will see us inside Mike's amazing whip, looking very much like James Corden carpool karaoke kind of situation.
It
Even
is.
though we aren't moving, no one is driving, we're being very safe.
We're being very safe.
But we are parked outside of Mike's spot in Bed-Stuy, just chilling, and I'm sure people walking by are like, these goddamn Brooklyn people are doing podcasts everywhere.
Oh my God, you're right.
But, at least we're inside a car and not bothering people.
That's
We're
true.
not like those outside podcast dudes who are just like, hey, we're doing a podcast outside.
Hey, what's going on?
And, you could hear us talk about dumb shit. Now,
like the those people who made the Haktua girl famous. Are you on to this?
Of course I'm onto this. Haktua girl. Okay, so this is going to date this podcast, obviously.
Oh
but
yeah, it will.
She is a very recent viral celebrity. I don't know. It was just one of those like man on the street accounts, and she charmingly described fellatio with like the way to keep your man happy is to spit on it by saying Haktua, and then somehow she now has like her own store with merch that says Haktua on it.
I think she's repped by
This is the kind of stuff Jenny would never talk about.
Yeah,
by the way.
exactly.
So I'm just
exactly.
showing my value here.
Yes,
as
exactly.
a
She'd be
associate.
like talking about, let's talk about comedy writing and stuff like that. We love you, Jenny. We're just kidding. So, but yeah, exactly.
But we dive in the underbelly. This is the Fumi energy, I guess I'm bringing.
Yeah,
now.
bring back that Fumi energy.
Yeah,
This is
the seedy underbelly of the internet.
This is this Haktua person.
But it's mainstream. It's not just like,
really
dirty
is.
degenerates are like hearing about this. Like
That's the
everyone
thing.
knows about it.
And I think it was on like Good Day LA. It was
Probably
like
was.
dude.
Honestly,
I mean, it's not like she's, the reference is vulgar.
absolutely
The
vulgar. Like
reference is
definitely
vulgar.
like something that people would know from porn.
Yeah, it's. But in 2024, it seems
Everything's up for grabs.
pretty tame.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Porn had
that's
already
fine.
been mainstreamed. Like, remember
That's
when Janet
true.
Jameson was like a celebrity in her own right as
good
well?
point. Yeah, but she never Haktua'd.
I mean,
Not in public.
Not-
Not in a public forum.
not saying it as a offering it up as a tip for other
Yes.
women.
Yeah, exactly. How did we get onto this discussion?
You brought it up.
Okay, so we're not that. We're inside of the car.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And
This is our viral moment.
this is our viral
very
moment.
PG,
And
maybe even G rated. Actually,
we're pretty
I think
we're pretty
sitting inside a car is G rated.
pretty G rated.
Yeah.
We're in Brooklyn. We have the AC on.
It's hot out.
I don't think the one thing we are a little bad. I don't think you're supposed to idle your car in New York City, which we totally are. Our fault. But we have to have the AC going because it's like 90 degrees and like 95% humidity.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's
and
very
as associate, I demand certain
it was in your
things,
rider
exactly,
to get promoted to associate.
and that is to not sweat while potting.
Well, I remember when I asked you, hey, do you want to do the podcast? You're like, are we going to turn the AC on? Did you think I wasn't going to run the AC?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe you were like, let's just see if we can hotbox this thing until we die, and just that would be content. People just kind of like starting to hallucinate while they lose electrolytes.
Like one of those, like one of those, what are those like those hot tents that people sit in?
Yeah,
until
some
they
kind
see
of
their spirit
survival
animal
type of show. I don't know, but I was just making sure because it's been humid as F out here. So yeah, I just want to make sure.
Maybe one of those lower tier podcasts would do it, but hey, listen, I've got that non-existent Patreon money. I can run the AC while we're sitting in the car.
Absolutely.
It's great AC, right?
It's very great.
It's pretty good.
So many vents. I think my feet are getting
Are you
cold
getting
too.
Are you getting cold? I should
Not
turn
cold.
the heater on.
No, I should say comfortable.
Oh, okay, great.
Cold implies that
This
that's
is
too much.
This is it. You're inside of it. This
Yeah.
is a 2014 Subaru Outback stick shift. I don't know if you've noticed.
I did notice.
I changed out the little shifter knob.
Yes.
It says STI.
This is something I've only seen in photos that Mike has sent me over text. He sent me, this is a little peek behind the curtain, people. Sometimes Mike and I will have these texts where we will show each other things that we are planning to buy.
Yes.
Whether it's, I don't know what you call this, gear shifts for
Yeah,
your car,
the knob,
or
the shifter knobs.
pants or shoes.
Shoes, a lot of
It's
shoes.
kind of like, yo, what do you think of this?
What do you think about this, bro?
You know, you have to have at least one person in your like kind of private committee to like give you the okay.
You know what I should do? I should start a what is it called? Discord, right? And one of the channels is like Mike's shopping list of things to buy, because I have like tons of stuff I want.
Well, I mean, you'd have to break that down in different categories, right? Like, you want it to be a free-for-all of anything, or we would divide it into, like, fashion,
Good point.
automotive.
Good point.
You know, because it could get kind of crazy.
Yeah, there is a lot of things I
Then
want.
you'd be like, check out the stroller, and people are like, who cares?
Oh, good point. Well,
Most of the Brooklyn people would be like, who cares?
Exactly.
We can't afford babies.
Yeah. So we're in the car. AC's running. It's car talk right now, and today we're going to have an episode which we're kind of loosely saying is the summer vacation episode. So we're summer vacation Asians. That's why we're dressed. That's why I have the bucket hat on. I got on my Cal Rain Spooner shirt. You know about Rain Spooner?
Oh, I've been on Rain Spooner for a while.
Hell yeah, you would be.
My boys from Hawaii. I know a lot of people from
Hell
Hawaii
yes.
who moved to New York when I did, and so
Really?
they put me on to all the different kind of original Aloha shirt brands, and that was one of them. So when I went to Hawaii for the first time, I made sure to beeline it to the Rain Spooner store and buy a bunch of stuff.
See, now you schooled me, because I didn't even realize Rain Spooner was from Hawaii.
Yeah.
I thought it was just like a West Coast thing.
I mean, you know how Hawaii and the West Coast are very linked.
Yeah.
Like, I even have like one friend from Hawaii who will support only like San Francisco sports.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Can I also ask you a question here, just to be vulnerable? Does it bother you when I send you all those links and I'm always like, hey, what do you think of this?
No, I think it's great. I think it's you know, I mean, that's what friends do, right? Like,
Okay,
they are willing to, I don't know, just kind of help you through decision making, trials like that.
Wasteful spending.
Well, it's like you trust me in a way, so that's also like that feels good.
I just feel like, you are very non-judgmental when it comes to like, what do you think about this loafer versus this one? This one is it's like 0.5% darker.
Well, first of all, I will say that I am very judgmental, but in those cases, yes, I am not judgmental. I think I'm selectively judgmental. I'll be judgmental towards a lot of people, and if they had, just very whack choices for me to like look at, then who knows? But no, those things. And look, I've been on Style Forum, which I think is one of the
Style Forum.
worst forums ever for fashion. It's basically like a bunch of people, mostly lawyers, I'd say, with like so much money.
They have so much money.
No style, and they're just like, check this out. It costs $5,000. Like, well, it looks like crap. So who cares? So,
I was always too intimidated with Style Forum to go on there significantly. Like I would pop in and out like where I
buy
need
things
to.
or sell things, but that was it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You sold stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but I would never try to be
Engage.
like wear those outfit of the day threads and put up my fit, like because it's just nonsense.
I
Like,
feel with that every one of the we're about to lose every single one of the listeners right now, but every single one of the different fashion forums, like Super Future versus Reddit versus Style Forum, they all had a archetypical ideal platonic ideal fit.
Yeah,
that was like, this is the thing we're all going to be about.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, on Reddit, it's like khakis with a desert boot with an Oxford button-up, and here's like, I don't know, like a really like a nice haircut. Like, you know, it's like those are the things because they're all like 19.
Yeah.
You know, they all get like really horny over those things. Oh
Absolutely.
my, this is a really nice Uniqlo button-up. You know.
Yep.
And then on Style Forum, it was. I don't know the brands, but it was like, do you have a dimple in your knot?
Yeah. It was just very like people very interested in traditional menswear stuff to a wild degree, and also just having way too much money. So like
much
they
money.
would just kind of look at what's very expensive and then start from there, as opposed to what looks good.
Yeah.
So anyway, so compared to that, no, your texts that are like asking for like my opinion are not at all like weird.
Because I've been purposely not texting you as much because I didn't want to, burn out the friendship. You know what I'm saying? I swear to God, I'm like,
but it goes
I'm
both
texting
ways.
too much.
I've sent you things too, and
No,
just so
you know,
it's not like.
Well, you never have to worry about that. I love looking at that kind of thing, and that is my jam. But today's jam is going to be summer vacation. So we got some things we're going to talk about. The one thing we're kind of segue into this is with summer vacation comes the looming threat, I would say, of school.
Oh yeah,
right. There's
comes
always
in the fall.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
and there's always like some stuff you got to do in this fall. I'm sorry, in the summer before you can really have a vacation. And that for me is the I mentioned it before. I didn't talk about it a lot, but there's a scholarship that I'm putting on. I guess you could say I'm like doing, and it's just for the show. I'm not like joining. I'm not partnering. Well, I guess I am kind of partnering with someone, but there's a scholarship that I'm doing. I've always wanted to do one, and the winner of it gets a pilot writing class paid for.
Yep.
And then they have like a mentorship session with Tiho, who's been on the show and who's great. And I have only now had time. So the application process started like in May, and you could submit until end of May.
How have the submissions been? You got a lot?
I got a good number.
Good.
About 40.
Yeah.
Which I think is a lot for like I didn't really talk about it that much. Partially because I didn't want it to get too huge because I can't read through like 200 applications.
Yep.
And the applications are not long. It's just sort of like, tell us about what your vision is. Here's like, give me a pilot idea. Like, tell us about yourself. So like, I've been reading through them finally, and over the last week, and I haven't selected the winner yet. As of today's July 6th, I haven't selected a winner. There's a short list of like 3, and I'm gonna kind of look more closely at their applications.
Very cool.
But dude, it is really, I guess I would say, heartbreaking to read them because
they're all so good, and
dude, there are so many good ideas. There are so many good ideas, so many good creators. So like the people who have been applying, there's a range. There's some people who are like, have written some stuff before, maybe even have like a credit, maybe like a small little thing, like they got into some like little festival, which is great. Or they've worked in the industry, but like as a PA or something, right? And then there's people who are like straight up, hey, I'm in fucking high school and like don't know anything, and like I think this would be cool. And I have it in my mind like the person I am looking for, someone I think is passionate and has like a viewpoint but doesn't have a lot of experience.
I see.
But there's just so many great ideas. There's so many great stories. There's so many great people with passion. And,
that's great. Yeah.
And like backstories, like everyone's backstory is like, and it's very, there's a lot of themes as far as like, hey, I was not someone who pursued this, and my parents were like this, and
classic immigrant stories.
So many immigrant stories. A lot of people who like grew up not knowing a lot of other Asian people, and
sounds like me.
Yeah, a lot of LGBT, Asians who are trying to tell these stories, which are also really interesting, and I think is also like really. There's a lot of stuff where I'm like, dude, I want to watch this.
Yep.
And I'm just like, it sucks because I can only pick one. I only have money for one. Maybe I can only have one. It's just, I just couldn't. I just can't get over.
You have a child on the way.
I have a child on the way.
Only one.
And I've got
maybe next year, but yeah.
I've got way too many free Patreon people to be able to support 2 winners. So I can only pick one, and it's crazy. And I'm just like looking through all of them, and I'm like, I want to tell them all that, I don't even know. Like, I want to tell them, like, hey, just keep going. Just because I didn't pick you isn't because you're not awesome. It's just because I can literally only pick one.
Yep.
And I was looking for this one particular type of thing, Well,
now you know how admissions officers feel.
Right.
And why now, like, you would appreciate someone kind of standing out with, like, a donation or something, making it so much easier for you to choose and be like, oh, yeah.
It would be way better if one of these people donated to me, a wing of a hospital.
Exactly.
And I could just name
bench.
this. Yeah. Give me something.
Yeah.
Right? Show up to my
easier.
fundraiser.
That's great that you've got like really good candidates.
Really good. Almost every single one of them I think is honestly worthy in some way, It's
well, you know what? They can say I was a finalist for the Asian Not Asian
You're all
/ Michael Nguyen scholarship, and that can be something. That could be a credit.
You know what? I would do it. You've all made the short list. Congratulations, because there's not that many of you, but it was all great, and it just kind of made me think like, how can I don't even know. Like I'm sometimes I think when you're even just starting out, just submitting something is a win.
Big deal,
right?
Like to actually write something down and send it off. Lord knows how many half-finished things we have like sitting around in our minds.
Yes,
let
exactly.
alone like emails. So yeah, that's a huge accomplishment. It's gonna be great for them. I really hope you have a little bit of a ceremony where you can have a picture of you shaking hands with the winner, and then them holding some big like piece of paper that says like scholarship.
Well, actually,
fund.
Since it's a comedy one, they'll be holding a really big drink ticket.
Yeah, whatever. I just want a picture
soda.
of you shaking hands, looking like a dignitary.
Right.
I
want to be wearing like a black suit. Look like I belong to the Taiwanese consulate.
Yeah. No.
Congratulations here for your research in quantum physics.
Exactly.
Here's a free pilot writing course.
Yeah. No, and we've taken that same course.
Oh, you have.
So we know that this is a great course, and with Matt Starr, right?
Yeah, with Matt Starr.
Yeah.
Matthew Starr, you guys check him out. He's if you're wanting to, check out a pilot writing course, he's a comedian and a writer, and he's got a great course. There's like a scheduled one, and then there's a private session, and it's cool just to sit down and have someone look at your shit.
Absolutely.
And like make you do it, and that's great. So that's all. I'm just I guess complaining. No, I'm not complaining. I'm just sort of
about
saying
how good you all are.
Yeah, you guys are all great. This is like the anti-Asian parent thing. You're all great.
Yeah.
You all deserve to win. I just can't pick. I can't pick everybody.
Yeah, this is definitely the antithesis of Asian parenting.
Yeah.
Usually they would pick your favorite, and everyone else has to just fall in line. But
yeah,
this is good. When would they expect to hear then?
I'm going to go through it. I hope this weekend. So like next week, the winner will be.
Exciting.
We'll know. So again, this is July 6th, and it's been like I was supposed to like do this like a month ago. So this is when I could do it.
Yeah.
Because guess what? It's summer vacation, baby.
That's right. We're on summer vacation. So you were on a trip recently.
I did.
You did a bit of summer vacationing.
Dude.
You were in Martha's Vineyard.
I was in Martha's Vineyard.
Which is...
Have you been?
I have been once.
Dude.
It's definitely one of the... It's hard to say. Like, I'd always heard about it being so ritzy and rich, but it was also like just naturally very beautiful when I finally got to it.
It's a pretty place.
Mm-hmm.
And the weather's great. It's like out in the ocean, right? Like
It's off of Cape Cod.
It's off of Cape Cod, out in Massachusetts for our West Coast Asians, because none of those things didn't mean anything.
Or anyone else who just is like,
who doesn't know anything about it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's it's an island off of Massachusetts, right?
Very small island.
It's a small island. It's not like tiny, but it's small enough where I think you could like drive across it and like if you didn't have any traffic,
a couple hours, right?
Not even, probably like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Less than that, So, but it's very pretty, and I will tell you, I've been telling everybody because I've been to Cape Cod before, and I thought Cape Cod was cute.
It's very cute.
Nice place for sure. I get the appeal, but dude, Martha's Vineyard, I have been fully ruling class pilled. Okay, I understand now why the ruling class have the taste they do, and as a Ralph Lauren aficionado, bro, it is like our capital.
It is pretty much, the epicenter of that kind of vibe
look
of like being rich, kind of being by the sea.
Yes.
Like Montauk, I think, is kind of another place that has that similar vibe. I was actually watching a Carly Simon video recently, a live video. It's like from 1981. It's from Martha's Vineyard, and it's just like an outdoor concert. It's crazy, like the vibes. It's just like so rich. So
yes,
it could pass for California in a way, like kind of
It's too like blue-blooded for California.
Oh,
I think.
Interesting.
California is like, like stealth wealth in the sense of like, I purposely am wearing my free MIT T-shirt. not MIT, Caltech,
Oh, okay.
It's like I'm trying not to look rich, even though I'm worth like $1 billion because I started a startup.
And you think they flaunt it more on Martha's Vineyard?
There, it's more like, did you, for example, where we stayed, there's like three big towns in Martha's Vineyard, and one we stayed is called Edgartown.
Okay.
Edgerton, and there's some sort of visual standard where all the houses have to look exactly the same.
Right.
And I'm talking about like home and garden level, like white. It's all white siding, white picket fences with blue or green, of which there's a particular shade.
I'm sure.
For the window shutters. And so, and there's, it has to be perfectly, immaculate. I saw so many landscapers. It was like an island only of landscapers. And everybody was touching everything up for the season. Everything had to be perfect, and it looked perfect. From the small houses to the giant mansions, they all looked the same color. And I think it's like, this is who we are. This is what we do. And everybody sort of just conforms to that, partially because of social pressure, but also because there's just so much social capital for looking that way. Like, I didn't know. Okay, when I first moved to New York, I understood like, needlepoint belts are a thing. I was like, okay, I guess that's a thing. But I didn't realize it's really a thing that came from where it came from, like the people who wear it, and the reason why you want to look like this is because you want a little taste of what it's like. You can't have the Martha's Vineyard $20 million home and garden house, but you can have $100 needlepoint Vineyard Vines belt.
This is the moment, everyone, where you can see Mike's descent into fascism, just appreciating this kind of order and
listen, I'm just saying there's a reason why they're in power, and think maybe we should defer to them a little bit. What's the
very
big deal?
fine people on both sides of the island.
Key and Peele, Polar and Fay, Asian parents, and exotic fruit. There are just some things that, when they come together, amazing happens. What about the perfect duo when it comes to growing your business? That's you and Shopify. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage, Shopify's there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soaps or some crazy one-of-a-kind modern furniture, Shopify helps you sell everywhere. From their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system, wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered.
Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout and sell more with less thanks to Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. What's crazy about Shopify is that it gives you everything you need to take control from day one and take your business to the next level, no matter how big or how crazy you want it to get. Seriously, all my friends who are small business owners, people who are serious about their business, they use Shopify. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the US, and Shopify is the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's extensive help resources are there to support your success every step of the way. Because businesses that grow, grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial at shopify.com/Asian, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Asian now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/Asian. Does the craziness of everyday life have you stressed and shedding? I know that since having my son, I've definitely felt a bit more stretched out and I'm seeing some changes to my scalp. When it comes to thinning hair, there are many root causes at play, and Nutrafol addresses them through a multi-targeted whole-body approach. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement, with over 1 million people seeing thicker, stronger, faster-growing hair with less shedding. Thinning hair is different for men and women, so a one-size-fits-all approach to hair growth doesn't cut it. Nutrafol has multiple formulas that are tailored to give your hair what it needs to grow based on your biology and lifestyle factors. Physician formulated with drug-free ingredients, Nutrafol supports healthy hair growth from within by targeting key root causes of thinning, including stress, hormones, environment, nutrition, lifestyle, and metabolism through whole body health. While many supplements rely solely on ingredient studies, Nutrafol clinically tests final formulations to ensure their efficacy. In the clinical studies, in fact, 72% of men saw more scalp coverage after taking Nutrafol's men hair growth supplement for 6 months, and 86% of women saw improved hair growth after taking Nutrafol's women hair growth supplement for 6 months. Take Nutrafol's hair wellness quiz at Nutrafol.com for a personalized hair health plan based on your specific root causes. With Nutrafol, building a hair growth routine is simple. Purchase online, no prescription or doctor's visits required. Free shipping and automated deliveries ensure you'll never miss a day. See results in 3 to 6 months. Take the first step to visibly thicker, healthier hair. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter promo code ASIAN. Find out why over 4,500 healthcare professionals and stylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code ASIAN. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code ASIAN.
Dude, I was like, and then, it's an island, right? So like in the daytime it's warm, but at night it gets cool. And it's like it's a nice warm, it's not very humid.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people, it gets cool, and so you need to have a little something to keep you warm. But you gotta wear that sweater when it's sunny too. So that's why you put it around your neck.
Do you have to wear it when it's sunny? I don't know if you really have to.
I don't know if you have to, but it makes sense why you carry one around.
I mean,
You never know.
There are people who still wear sweaters while playing tennis, and it makes no sense to me.
Wait, hold
at
on,
all.
they do?
Yeah, like
when you play tennis.
remember, like you see old pictures, but there's some people do it still too. Like they'll have a V-neck that it's basically a straight up sweater, and they're playing in the sun
Yeah.
with like shorts, and it's like just take off the sweater. Like
No,
there's no need for it.
No, dude. What are you going to be, one of those dirty Californians wearing like dry fit? Disgusting. I
love my dry fit.
You're
I love
beneath
tech.
me.
I love tech.
I love tech. Well, yeah, it's all like wearing white everything. A lot of white people. Although actually, Martha's Vineyard has a very large. Martha's Vineyard historically has a very large African American community.
Really?
Yes, in Oak Bluff, a lot of sort of notable figures.
Hold on. You're gonna name a notable African American from Martha's Vineyard?
Gosh.
Okay.
It's like academics and shit.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like would come out there. Hey, the Obamas live out there. They got a house. That's pretty notable. Oh, you're gonna tell me Barack Obama's not notable? He's pretty notable.
He's not from there though. I don't think that's the environment that really created him.
So yeah. So it's like a very it's classic East Coast vacation energy, right? Like way too many ice cream places. Pretty bad art, I want to say. That is one thing. Pretty bad art.
Ice cream is one of those things about New England, though. Like, when I've been up to Maine,
much ice cream.
You can't throw a rock without hitting like 5 ice cream stores, and they all seem great and fine, but like it's just too much.
It's way too many. But
for this dairy intolerant ass, it's way too much.
It's how they keep the Asians out. They're like, we're gonna have a lot of ice cream here, so only white people can hang out here. So so now I'm gonna say that I'm even more in the Ralph Lauren hole than I was before, because now I'm like, oh, this is where it all makes sense now. So
You're
from now on,
so hard.
White linen suits only.
Yep. Well, I'm wearing my linen pants right now. Linen, I think, is actually like functional and fashionable.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so is a sweater around the neck. It's functional, bro.
I don't know about the sweater around the neck. That, I think, is kind of veering into non-functional.
You just got to go out there. I'm going to have one day, I'm going to have a Asian on Asian podcast party, where it's going to be in Martha's Vineyard. And people are going to be like, why are there so many Asian people?
Wow.
There weren't that many Asian people, I'll tell you. There was one. This is crazy. I don't know if this happens to you. So at the little like hotel we were staying at, suddenly for like a couple of the days, there was a Vietnamese family, and they were real Vietnamese. I mean, they were like real Vietnamese, and I was almost like, do people in Vietnam know about Martha's Vineyard now? Because they were. Trust me, I can just tell these are not like Texas Vietnamese people.
Right.
These are Vietnamese people, and they're like pushing around their little stroller. And I was like, where did these people come from? Because I didn't know that maybe the tendrils of culture have reached all the way out there.
I mean, maybe they're like owners of manufacturing, and they rub shoulders with other like kind of magnates, and they're like, you got to go to Martha's Vineyard.
You know what?
Where it's at.
You know what, though? They had so much to learn, because they were wearing the wrong trappings. They were wearing Gucci. They were wearing like black jeans.
Not because they're Vietnamese, but because they looked so out of place.
Yeah, they wore like silk shirts, black jeans, like Gucci loafers, like Versace stuff.
Nouveau riche.
Yeah, and I was like, you need someone like me to show you the ways.
You're wearing the wrong brands.
Wearing the wrong brands. You're not wearing the sweater around the neck.
Did they have logos that were like too visible?
Some logos. Yeah. Vietnamese people just love shit like that.
Yep.
Like if we could drive, like, Vietnamese people are the people.
A Louis Vuitton wrapped car.
A Louis Vuitton wrapped Lamborghini to Catholic church. To Catholic mass. That is Vietnamese like as fuck. Too, oh, really? Korean people like that?
Maybe not.
I feel like you guys are more subtle.
I mean, yeah.
You definitely are into the logos.
Not with maybe they wouldn't have the LV wrapped car, but they would definitely be like, check out this BMW I just got. Yeah, for sure. But that's funny.
So that was.
You didn't talk to him? You weren't like, hey, what's up?
I mean, they were really Vietnamese, and I'm like, my Vietnamese is terrible. But I did the thing where like I kind of like acknowledged, because they were talking about. I had a wagon that I was like pulling to the beach, and then Neo was sitting in it at one point, and so I could hear them talking about the wagon. They were like, oh, there's a wagon. And they were like, one of them was like, oh yeah, there's wagons for kids that you can like buckle in. And I waved at them, such that like they knew that I knew that they were talking about me. And then they like stopped for a second. They're like, they didn't say anything to me. And like at that point we were kind of too far away. But I was like, I got my eyes on you. Okay.
Don't start talking shit. I can understand what you say.
Yes, exactly. Also, don't ruin this for us, okay? Vietnamese people, they'll kick us right off this island.
I have had that conversation, though.
Really?
When I see people with their big ass wagons for their kids, I'm always like, look at that wagon. What the fuck, man? What won't they buy for their kids?
Oh, dude, I love that wagon. This wagon is, dude, you got to have the beach wagon.
I believe it.
I love it. How about you, Ben? You've been out. You've been doing stuff. How's your summer vacation going?
I have been going to Chicago, which is not really a vacation because that's where my parents are.
Yep.
But my last trip out, I did go do karaoke with some friends, so that was fun.
Okay.
And that's something I haven't been able to do much of here. And I'm going to Montreal for a bachelor party in August, so that will be pretty fun. But because me and the bros, we've known each other for many years, but we're a little older now, so this is gonna be interesting. Like, I feel like every boys trip that has happened like over the years, people get more and more excited about it.
Yes,
because they're like, oh, I can get away from the wife or the wife and kids,
right?
And
let loose a little bit.
They go too hard the first night, and the next
Way
night
too hard.
everyone's just like, I'm
Dead.
going to bed. So, if people are planning the hijinks that they say, if they go through with the hijinks they're planning, like I feel like we might even need like a doctor on staff or like an ambulance. Like I don't know.
Do you have any
what's gonna
friends who are
happen.
doctors who have that, just in case?
Well, so I do have friends who are doctors, and like at my wedding, there were technically 3 doctors there, which is amazing.
That's great.
But they aren't going to be at this. That was like my friend Vivek's wife, and then like Michelle's like brother-in-law. So they're not going to be at this.
Oh man.
So we might have to go into the Canadian healthcare system for that.
Well, at least you'll be free.
Yeah. But we're looking forward to it. I haven't been in Montreal in quite a while, and there's obviously like tons of food. There's been already so many food recommendations being thrown around.
Okay.
They're known for smoked meat.
Oh.
I don't know if you've been in Montreal.
I've not. I've always wanted to go. I don't know when I'll be able to go now, but I've heard it's good, and it's pretty close to New York City.
Very close. It's like a 45-minute plane ride.
That close.
The customs line is longer than the
Oh,
flight
shit.
itself.
2 questions.
Yes.
One, what would you say, is the average age of the people going to this bachelor party?
Definitely like mid to late 30s. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
not that old, actually.
No, but again, people haven't partied like this. Like they're out of practice,
Yes.
And so,
Got to stretch, dude.
but then when the gang gets back together, all those memories come flooding back.
Everybody
You
thinks they can go. go
or
ham.
you're like, let's relive past glories, and I just don't know if we're built for that.
What can you give me? I don't want to put anyone on blast, but what is maybe one of the antics that we're sort of saying
Okay.
is going to be that you think maybe, hey, I don't know if we can handle this?
Well, one of them was gas-powered go-karts.
That's not too bad.
They can get up to like 40 miles an hour.
Okay.
And one of my friends has already done this before, and he said that his neck was hurting like for the rest of the weekend. And that was years ago. So now we're older. Like, who knows what's going to happen?
Dude, I love it that this whole time in my mind I thought, oh, well, they're going to drink too hard, maybe do drugs or something like that.
Well, that is also on the cards.
Oh, really?
And I'm also worried about that. But
oh, no.
Because of the way things are, like,
Yes.
I think it's going to be a lot of like edibles and like things of
Okay.
that nature
Okay.
more so than
Than any
I think
really hard
I think
stuff.
there is going to be drinking, and I am a little scared about that because I don't drink it that much anymore. But sometimes when you get to these like occasion type of like
Yes.
weekends,
You
people
start
are like,
having
well,
shots.
you have to do this. And
You
you're
gotta
like,
do
okay,
shots.
yeah, exactly. So
You and I try to keep you in practice. You and I will
Yeah.
meet up every so often. Like last time we met up and went to Dynaco. And I feel like we didn't drink that much.
probably 3 drinks.
Yeah, but they
now
were all
that-
whiskey
that
ones.
decimates me now.
That it was true.
Yeah.
I went out after, I told you this, and I bummed a cigarette off of someone.
Yeah,
I never
I saw
smoked.
that. I saw that. I was there.
I was like, "What? Who is this? Who am I?"
That is the Asian coming out.
That was
Asian came right out after
that-
3 drinks.
That was like 2005 Mike Nguyen. I was like, Death Cabin for Cutie was on. I was wearing a velvet blazer. I had a faux hawk,
Oh my God! Did you have a faux hawk?
I did.
Oh wow.
I thought that was like how I was like cool,
Okay, I think second, third prize for the scholarship should be a framed picture of you in a faux
In
hawk.
the faux hawk?
Yeah.
So,
I wanna see
okay,
that.
so how long is this bachelor party?
It's gonna be a weekend. Just
Okay.
one weekend.
Like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You fly back on Sunday?
I will fly back on Sunday.
Okay, I think you'll be all right. I think the first thing, you're right. I think the first,
It's gonna be 15 people.
that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Wait, Airbnb?
We had to find separate Airbnbs because
Oh.
I guess it's going to be high season in Montreal as well. So
Ah,
I
I
went
see, I
ahead
see, I see.
and got Airbnbs, which is also kind of an old, mature thing to do. Is like to go out and find your own lodging, so you don't have to wait for someone to be like, oh, there's no more hotels, so you got to find your own.
Can I tell you that was always the thing that made me most anxious about the bachelor party was
Yeah.
because, it's a big group. A lot of times people don't all know each other.
Yeah.
Right? There'll be like different circles of friends. And anytime I would do one of these bachelor parties, I would always be like, where am I going to sleep? And on 2 different occasions, I've only been to like a few bachelor parties.
Pull
but-
out couch.
No, but I would have to room.
Oh no, share a room.
Yeah, dude, share bed.
Oh, what?
One of them had to share a bed.
Oh, no,
with this dude who was like nice guy, but didn't know him. You know, he's just like next to me. We did the head to toe thing, which I honestly at this point I'm like, dude, it was honestly made it even weirder. So it was that, and then another one. I went to a bachelor party. This was like what I would say the infamous bachelor party where my roommate ended up like
stuff of legend bachelor party.
Dude, getting with one of the strippers.
Yeah.
And it was. I'll just stop there.
Yeah.
Didn't know this guy. I found out later on that he's sort of like on the periphery of the friend group.
Uh-huh.
And so...
Oh, no.
And people were like, oh, is that what... I'm going to change his name. Eric. You know, oh, that's classic Eric. I'm like, really? That's who you put me with.
There was no intel beforehand.
I had no idea.
Oh my God.
I didn't know a lot of those. You know, the Bachelor I knew very well. He was my very good friend. But his friends, those are all like these are friends from high school and college. You know, so like they had that bond.
Wow.
And I met him much later.
Yeah.
So they were all into that, and they knew like kind of like the pitfalls. Oh, don't hang out with Eric. You know. Oh, where's Eric going? And I didn't know any of that shit. And I found out the hard way. Let's just say.
Well, not to blow my own horn, but you want to hear about my wizardry?
Okay,
I found a spot in Montreal with 4 bedrooms and 4 beds, 1 bed each bedroom, and
fuck yes.
Everyone has their own little domain.
Yo.
Like, no one has to be in the sofa bed in the living room or anything like that. Like everyone has their own bedroom.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
You need to have that.
Yeah.
I'm old.
I've never seen a place like that, honestly. Like I was
nobody
amazed.
has to be in the living room.
Nope.
There isn't like a bunk bed situation.
God,
You don't want to do the bunk bed? Huh?
No.
The baseball themed room?
No one's like, okay, well, it's a twin bed and 3 of us have to share it. So yeah, it's gonna be good. So I'm looking forward to it. I did go to the beach recently.
Oh,
and
yes.
This was, I actually don't surf as much as I used to. Probably, it's because of the pandemic and
Surfing Asian.
things got
Nice.
weird. But yes, I am a surfing Asian for sure. But I had to go to the beach a couple weekends ago because a friend of mine who I used to surf with a lot died suddenly, and one of our mutual surf friends posted on Instagram that there was going to be a memorial paddle out for this guy.
Which is like a surf thing.
It's a surf thing. It's a surf culture thing. So when I feel like I'm describing like a whole nother ethnic group or something, but when a surfer dies and their friends want to remember them, what they do is they will paddle out into the ocean in form of a kind of a big circle and throw flowers out into the middle of the circle. And I had always seen pictures and videos, but I'd never been part of one. So this one, I was just like, well, there's no question I have to make this. Like, I knew this guy so well and like had surfed with him a lot.
Shit.
We'd gone on trips to Puerto Rico and stuff together. So yeah, it was kind of heavy. So we went out there to the Rockaways, and I saw the people already kind of out there on the water. So I surfed out to them, and some people like spoke, and then
that's cool.
People like threw flowers out, and it was nice to see some people that I hadn't seen in a while because I hadn't surfed with this guy for like years. But it was one of the more somber beach outings I think I've ever had. It was interesting.
Did you guys surf?
A little. Honestly, the waves weren't that great. But also, we were on a non-surfing beach, and this is one of those things that is, I think, unique to New York, in that some beaches will be designated surfing and some will be not surfing.
Like officially? Like
yeah,
that way?
officially by the city. So the lifeguards were getting pretty pissy and like trying to whistle us
like,
in.
Hey,
yeah.
stop surfing.
Yeah.
Sorry for your loss.
Yeah. I don't think they cared, but they were letting people who had like boogie boards and like
big old
hard surfboard type
sense.
Things, but yeah.
Shit, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. Death happens. You don't necessarily have to be older to experience deaths of friends. I've actually had a couple of friends die already, but it's definitely going to happen more and more.
I think it's at least cool that you guys have the surf thing.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like. Yeah, like if you got your little community of people, people end up doing something like, who was it that passed recently? One of the comedians, Kenny DeForest, and they have like a festival for him now.
Yeah, that is really great.
Which is sweet.
Yeah.
People, what better way to celebrate than to get together and do the thing that person loved.
Absolutely.
You know, when I go, I hope it's like jiu-jitsu, hot pot, not at the same time, but like that's what people should do. I think
jiu-jitsu in a big hot pot type of like pool.
Yeah, like a really hot one.
Yeah. How would it be a jiu-jitsu tournament in your name?
No, I think it would just be like an open mat. I think it would just be like a hang, people, like we put on some like nujabes and we just like roll. People just like do their thing.
Okay.
Followed by maybe drinks at the Ralph Lauren bar, like the Polo bar.
I've no friends who have done that, but I feel like that would be a hard reservation to get.
Yeah, that's true. Literally, I had to die in order for it to happen. I've never been. Have you been?
I haven't been.
I haven't been.
My friends who went, they definitely, I think, had to wait. Was it years for reservation?
Years, really?
Maybe. I'll check with them, but it was. It seems special enough that it was not easy to get.
Yeah, I imagine too that when people, like, you know, this generation, like this millennial generation,
okay,
they're going to be doing a lot of death polo bar hangouts.
Really?
I don't know. You know, that's such a, you know, it's like where do you know, like the millennial thing is, I don't want to be buried at like where my dad was, or
that
you know?
I can get. I mean, it's kind of like it seems like a waste of space.
Yeah, I'm agnostic now too. It's sort of like, hey, just tie one last bow tie for me, dude. You know?
Do you want people to bring your body into the polo bar so it's like they stand you up in the corner?
Prop me up.
Yeah.
Double-breasted suit.
Just kind of have your hand out,
cowboy
like
boots.
in a like holding a cup thing. Just like keep putting glasses in your hand.
Yeah.
That would be kinda
sunglasses.
Yeah.
And then, you know, shoot me up with some drugs, and who knows? So okay, that sounds badass. What was? Oh yeah, I also had a beach hangout.
At Martha's Vineyard?
No, this was here. This was
okay.
actually just, God, what day is today? This week is so fucking weird because of like July 4th being in the middle of the week.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Okay, it was Thursday, July 4th.
Oh, you went on. Okay.
So I went on July 4th.
I heard that's a bad day because everybody goes.
You know, here's the thing though, is that as a parent, you go wildly early because your kid is up early and you don't mind going early.
Damn.
So
Dinners and beach time.
Everything's early.
Okay.
Everything's early.
Okay.
Yeah. We went out to a beach out in Long Island, but we got there at like 10 a.m.
Wow.
We got there at 10. So street parking.
Yep.
That was sweet. Had to go out into the beach, pay the little beach pass thingy or whatever.
Yes.
Do that. And it's a friend of mine who lives in this neighborhood, lives near us. Also does jiu-jitsu. Okay, that's how I met him. I met him at my academy. And I was like, he has a new kid, like they're new parents, and their kid is like 4 months old or something. Okay. So we're like, hey, let's go to the beach. Okay, cool. I didn't realize it, but there was a part of a larger hang. So I thought it was just gonna be me and this other family. Oh. And it ended up being like a very big group of Asians. All Asian people, not all Asian, but like a lot of Asians.
This guy's Asian too, your friend?
This dude he's like Filipino. His wife is Korean.
Oh,
I could
so
tell
they kind of have like your similar structure to
Jungle
your
Asian
marriage.
versus fancy Asian. Yeah. Right? I knew she was Korean because she had the bangs. And the Korean bangs. And then, and there was like, we meet up and it was like a big old Asian hang. It was like all Asian people with like all sorts of, like what I would call, you could tell all these dudes like used to be like really, really into hip hop.
Oh,
you know? Like
sure.
really, like I think they actually, a bunch of them met at a streetwear store, and some of them for sure used to DJ. I think my friend used to DJ. And then like maybe we're into like the car meetup culture. It was like that kind of thing.
This is like my friends who I'm going to the bachelor party with. We met on the hip hop message board that Diplo used to run.
Oh right.
Back in
what
the
was
day.
It called?
Hollertronics.
Did you see, just as an aside, did you see the Diplo? Am I thinking of the same person? Who was the one who had his like house recently on like Architectural Digest? Am I thinking of someone else?
I mean, a lot of people do. It could be him.
Is this guy really rich, Diplo?
Diplo is unfortunately very rich. Like I saw a video of him once, like was it Vegas? Like putting his ATM card in and like letting people see how much money was in his checking account. It was like $300,000 or something like that.
Oh shit. Okay, never mind. Okay. Well, anyway, so this guy, so it was like that kind of thing. It was a lot of like, and I mean this with the best in the best way possible. A lot of good and bad tattoos. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Sure.
Some dudes were smoking. I was like, yes, very Asian uncle energy here.
Wait, what were they smoking?
Just cigarettes.
Oh, really?
Cigarettes, yeah. Yeah,
That's
they got
so
called out
Asian.
like the cops came. They were like, you can't do that.
Wow.
But there was a lot of kids. Neo, my son, who's like 2-ish, he was the oldest one. And there was like a bunch who were like, you know, it was like a 1-year-old and an 18-month-old. But
How
there
was
was
that group dynamic with the kids? Was he like the leader then, or?
Well, it was a little tricky, you know. At that age, they don't really like play with each other so much as they play near each other.
I see.
And with the beach and stuff like that, it was kind of like too much. So it was like, it was like we were all together, but like all the kids were sort of separate. But it was like interesting being there. I have to say, I hope this doesn't sound too egotistical, but I was like, 100% one of these people will know who I am, because whenever there's enough Asian people from New York City get together, eventually someone will be like, I know, I listen to your show or something like that.
Oh,
that just always
interesting.
happens to me. Although none of them did. So I was like, okay, you know what?
Aha.
I still have work to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Long Island is beyond your reach.
Yeah. And I was trying to guess. So some of them were from the West Coast and some of them from the East Coast. And I was trying to guess. You know, I got the energy, the vibe that there were some of them were from like, you know, LA, but I was totally wrong. I was like trying to guess East Coast, West Coast, and I was wrong for a lot of them.
This sounds like a real humbling experience.
It was. I was like,
not only does no one know me, but I can't identify correctly where people are from.
What have I been doing for the last like, I don't know, 10 years.
Yeah.
But I learned a lot from them because a lot of them were surfers and are surfers.
Oh, really?
And so like they were teaching me all these things. For example, the sand brush. I didn't know. Do you use this? Sand brush? It's a brush for brushing off sand.
I know.
Really? I thought it was like a
Brushing off
surfing
sand
thing.
From what? Your feet?
Your feet, your surfboard, things like that.
Sand brush?
Yeah, they were talking to me. They were like all about the sand brush. I mean,
there's a wax comb, but I don't know about a sand brush.
Well, they were telling me about the sand brush. They were like brushing off all the sand. They had like the tents set up. I had like I have a wagon, so I was using the wagon.
Yeah, of course.
And I was holding that, but I didn't have any sunshade, with an amateur move. But
you gotta have
you gotta have some sort of shading.
We have the sport brella, which is like
the one
a
that's
huge
like
half tent type of thing. It's the best because I hate being in the sun, honestly.
Yeah. They all
rather
had
be in the
different
shade.
things. Some of them had like gigantic tents, you know, some of them had like smaller ones. And so I was just learning a lot, and it was just so interesting seeing all these Asian people together, and it made me realize that I don't really hang out with that many Asian people.
Really?
Well, my comedy friends, a lot of them, you, for example, Jenny.
I think that is true that most of my
is Asian.
Well, and also most people I know from comedy are like, I know more trans people and gay people from comedy than
for sure
in the rest of my life.
Oh, that's definitely true.
So in a way, they're kind of overrepresented, but like it's great. But like sometimes I think about it, I'm like, oh, I know like at least 10 trans people I could count off like my hands. But then someone else in like Indiana probably knows 0 people. It's just crazy, like how many people we know who are like Asian, who are like trans, like all these other groups, these subgroups. But like. Yeah, it's nuts. And I think you're right. Like, yeah, comedy is the place where we know a lot of Asians who are kind of, you know, because like me growing up, I was always like, all right, if someone is Asian, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to like have that much in common with them. Like, I never felt that. So like finding people who are like your people is more important to me than just like
you're Asian.
They're Asian, they're Korean, whatever.
Yeah. But for some reason, I just never like, I mean, shit, you had to meet a lot of your friends through this Diplo forum, which is embarrassing. But,
it is.
you know, like I had to meet my Asian friends through this thing where we get to be creative together, right? It's like Asian people being creative.
Yeah.
And it's not like I don't have Asian friends, of course, but like I realize a lot of my friends are white. I have a lot of white friends who I just have met through work or through my wife's friends or something like that.
Yeah. And
I was hanging out with all these people, like these Asian people, and I was like, they would be so cool to have like you know, these guys, they I don't know, they just had like this word is overused so much, but like swag, but not in a flashy way. They were just sort of like they knew who they were, and they were very lived in, and like a lot of them, some of them grew up in Queens, so they had that New York, to them.
Yeah.
And I thought that was sweet. It was like it was a different thing than I was used to, right?
That's funny.
I don't know.
Wow. So it was like, hanging with surf Asians in New York.
Yes.
That's cool.
It was a very New York, experience for me.
Wow.
I thought it was awesome.
That's
Although
nice.
we were again on this Long Beach island, beach on Long Beach.
Mm-hmm.
No, this beach on Long Beach.
Yeah.
Wait, Long Island.
Well, Long Beach is in
Long Beach is a Long Island.
So
kind of a weird beach.
I've surfed there many times.
I don't know what it is now, but whenever there's like a summer, this is very recent.
Mm-hmm.
I feel now whenever there's like people are at the beach or at the ocean that they will put up all of their political affiliations now. Do you see this? Do you notice this?
Yeah, like on cars?
Yeah, on the cars. Like, so like near us, maybe like a couple dunes down, there's this dude and he had like his Gadsden flag up.
Oh. Just like, okay, I see what you're saying.
And
I have not noticed that. Or I mean, I honestly hate going to the beach unless I surf. Like, I don't
really?
go just to hang out in sun. But I remember when I would surf Long Beach, there was this truck that we would always pass, and it was parked, but it had so much Trump stuff.
Oh, I think I saw this truck.
And it had a sticker of Obama as the Joker as well. Like, but it was covered with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. So, I mean, Long Beach is a place where they have 2 St. Patrick's Days because they
really
love it so much. They have one in the fall just to give themselves an excuse to go out and drink more.
Which is the real one?
The March one. The one in the spring.
Is it? I had no idea, and I don't care. So, yeah, it's going out there. It was. I wish the kids still said this because they don't say it anymore. Chuggy. It was like I was like, come on, cringy. I was like, come on, just it's a beautiful day. Put that
there's
stuff
no
away.
need for that.
Come on.
I also have seen some of the most leathery white people, like just. You would never want to go out without sunscreen after seeing these people.
No, I know exactly. They look like a taiko drum, just like stretched out.
They grew up, I mean, granted, they grew up thinking it's better to tan, and all they had were like suntan oils.
Yes.
Like that was a thing.
Yes, suntan oils, yes.
Good God.
They were basically like basting themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Holding up that like reflective aluminum foil under their face.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Crispy bacon. That's what makes me think of.
Yeah, Long Beach.
That was it was an interesting time, and there was a little like colony of Asians there, of which one of them had come from Martha's Vineyard, so I was better than everybody.
Yes.
Anyways,
nice.
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening to the show. If you guys are liking it, which we hope you are. If you've made it this far, I think you're liking it. Give us a rating. We haven't had we still get ratings, but like leave us a comment, leave us a little review. If you're on your phone, you can take a screenshot and post it on Instagram. Tag us at Asian Not Asian Pod. Leave us a review on the Apple Podcast app, and you can follow and rate us on Spotify. Now I think you can do that. You can do all sorts of stuff.
Oh.
Tell your friends. If you're on YouTube and been watching this weirdness on YouTube, you can subscribe, comment, do all the stuff on there. And you can always follow us on Instagram too at Asian Not Asian Pod. I'm also on there at Nice Pants Bro.
And I'm at Seoul Korea, SOULKOREA.
You got any shows coming up? Anything you want to plug?
Nothing definite, so no, I don't have anything to plug.
Yeah.
But I will say again to those new free Patreon freeloaders, join the Patreon and then join again to pay for the premium content.
Yo, premium. Pay. Yeah.
Joining is no longer good enough.
Yeah, it's not good enough. You gotta throw some cash. Why not? Always come out. Check out our Hack City show again. Then it's second Friday of every month. I believe the next one. Did I say it at the beginning? Yeah, August 9th is gonna be the next one. And will I be there?
Oh, really? You might not.
I think I will be there. I'm gonna. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, let's just say this. I want to be there.
Sure, of course.
So I will want to be there, but Otherwise, Jenny will be there, and it'll be a lot of fun. So that's it for right now. Any last words? So when so you're not going to your bachelor party until the end of the summer?
Yeah,
August-ish.
beginning of August.
Okay, beginning of August.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
So I don't really have any fun July trips planned, but today, this afternoon, I am going to feudal Japan because I'm seeing Seven Samurai at Film Forum. So going back to feudal Japan. It's my vacation.
Yeah, that's going to be an amazing summer vacation, going to feudal Japan. All right, we love you. And until then, be good. See you later. Bye.
Peace.